We're back, lesson 3!
Yes, we are. I'm Pastor Belinda, and
I'm Pastor Michael!
With me as always. With me as always.
Of course I'm with her always. She's my wife.
Welcome back to week 3 of Dr. Tock's Traveling Clock.
That's right. So we've gone back in time, finding out what's going on with Joseph, his wild coat, his crazy brothers, being sold into Potiphar's house. He's doing chores and slave labor, but he's got a good attitude in doing what is right all the time, Pastor Belinda.
That's right, Pastor Michael.
And we're going to continue that story today.
We are exciting. Pastor Michael, I'm sure they've been waiting for this. They've been waiting to know
What is for lunch?
It's not me.
Sorry, what's for lunch? We're also going to get to go through our memory verse again, find out the missing words, see if they're getting that down after 3 weeks, and then, Pastor Belinda, another verses. And this is a verses that, well, let's just see, just watch and see what happens.
What's for lunch? Did you catch that?
Pop-Tart.
Yum. Listen carefully to the memory verse.
The Lord has told you what is good. He has told you what He wants from you, to do what is right to other people, love being kind to others, and live humbly obeying your God. Micah 6:8.
Guess the missing word. Versus battle. Burping. Winner! Do you remember this song?
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers and Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job and Psalms and Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Songs.
What's for lunch?
No.
Did you catch that?
No. Corn dog.
Mmm. Yum.
Oh my goodness!
Pastor Belinda, the verses was a burping contest. How many of you did it? I know some of you guys can burp, maybe louder than those verses. That wasn't a bad one.
I'm sure they can.
That wasn't a bad one. But then what's for lunch was a Pop-Tart. You know,
It was amazing how she shoved that whole Pop-Tart in her mouth. My God.
she just kept going. It was crumbs everywhere.
She was like a
Little hamster.
crazy.
But my favorite Pop-Tart is a strawberry Pop-Tart. What's yours, Pastor Belinda?
Mine is cherry.
Boys and girls, what's your favorite Pop-Tart? I heard chocolate, I heard blueberry, I heard all kinds of them. Cinnamon and sugar, whatever. There's all kinds of Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts are
That's
cool.
That's fine. Cherry's the best, but that's fine.
No, strawberry's the
Whatever you
best,
like is
whatever you
fine.
want.
Just
And then
cherry's
a corn dog, and they got to go over the memory verse just a little bit more.
They did, yeah.
So that got us all ready to get into our praise and worship. And we're going to do our Micah song. You guys are getting some of that down. Learning how to be kind, learning to do what's right. And the second song
The second song I'm so excited about.
So
Pastor
excited.
Michael. You know, we're learning about Joseph, and he was back in biblical times in Israel and Egypt and all over, you know. But we're going to be going to Jerusalem for this song. It's going to be a song about Psalm 133, and the people that are singing it are going to sing it in Hebrew, which is the language the Old Testament was written in. So get ready to enjoy your praise and worship right now, boys and girls.
We've got time to travel.
We're gonna do what's right.
We're gonna love everybody.
And we'll always be kind.
Jesus, I will do what you say. I will obey. Jesus, I will do what you say. I will obey. I want to love, love, love. I want to be kind. I want to obey God and do what's right. I want to love, love, love. I want to be kind. I want to obey God and do what's right. Micah 6:8.
Micah 6:8.
Micah 6:8.
Micah 6:8.
We've got time to travel.
We're gonna do what's right.
We're gonna love everybody.
And we'll always be kind.
Jesus, I will do what you say. I will obey. I want to love, love, love. I want to be kind. I want to obey God and do what's right. I want to love, love, love. I want to be kind. I want to obey God and do what's right. Micah 6:8.
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 הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לילה 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 לילה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לילה 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 לילה. It's like precious oil flowing down the beard of our from the top of his head to the edge of his robe. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לילה 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 לילה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לילה 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 לילה. Descending on the mountains of Zion, for there the Lord commanded blessing, life forevermore. Hine mato umanai, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine mato אחים גם יחד. Inemato, inemato. Lai la lai lai la lai lai la la. Inemato, inemato, inemato. Lai la lai lai la lai lai la la. It's good to be together today in Jerusalem, amen? I said, everything that has breath, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything that has breath, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything that has breath, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything that has breath, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything that has breath, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything that has breath come praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
I love that Hebrew song, Pastor Belinda. And they, even at the end, they were singing some in English, so you kind of got to know what they were saying. But you're right there in Israel. You're outside of Jerusalem. That's where Jesus, boys and girls, would have walked. That's where he would have lived. That's where he would have done what was right, Pastor Belinda. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and seeing the old buildings that were lit up in the background. And I don't know if any of you really watched it close enough, but there were two, an older lady and maybe her daughter. They were dancing. Doing kind of that Hebrew dance in the audience.
That's right.
It's just so much fun. So it's really nice to be able to expose you boys and girls to that kind of stuff. You know, Pastor Michael, we would actually have been at the day we're recording this, which is not when you're seeing it.
That's right.
We would have been in Israel
At the end of June, we were supposed to be in Israel, but God had other plans.
Shout out to Israel.
Give a shout out to Israel and Pastor Proctor and all those there that we would have been with. It would have been a lot of fun. But, boys and girls, we're going to find out with Dr. Tock what's going on in Joseph's story. So far, he's been sold into slavery. He's working at Potiphar's house. He's kind of a lot of chores to do, a slave. And I think something's getting ready to happen that really is tough on Joseph. He has to make a choice to do what's right. Let's see what Dr. Tock says.
So, the other day, I'm sitting in class, and Billy throws a paper plane straight into the back of Mr. Quattlebaum. Mr. Q was furious and immediately turned around to get justice. As soon as he looked in my direction, Billy told Mr. Quattlebaum that I threw it. Dude, I could not believe that he was shifting the blame my way. Without even thinking about it, Mr. Q kicked me out into the hall. I had to spend the entire day in detention and was ready to plan my revenge until I saw this. Joseph was that dude. He got the attention of everyone he met. He learned the importance of being kind to others, and his hard-working attitude as a slave paid off. Potiphar, the Pharaoh's main man, noticed Joseph and put him in charge of his whole house. With Joseph calling the shots, Potiphar didn't have anything to worry about except for the food that he was going to eat. He could trust Joseph to take care of everything he owned. Not only was Joseph kind, he was strong and handsome too. He wasn't in charge for long when Potiphar's wife, let's just call her Potiphar, noticed Joseph. In fact, she wanted Joseph to fall in love with her, but Joseph knew that this was wrong because she was already married. Joseph told Potiphar that there was no way that he could fall in love with her, but she did not care. Every day she would beg Joseph to be her man, but he refused. He knew he needed to be kind to his master, and most importantly, he knew it would be a sin against God. It's kind of like if you found a $5 bill on the floor next to your friend's desk. You know the money belongs to them, but you could keep it for yourself. The kind thing to do would be to give the money back to your friend. Well, Joseph kept working hard, but one day he was inside doing his chores when Potiphar grabbed him by the coat and tried to force him to love her. Joseph knew he'd better run away, so when he did, he left his coat in Potiphar's hands. As you can imagine, she did not think it was cool that Joseph wouldn't do what she wanted. she decided to make up lies about him, telling some of her servants that Joseph wanted her to fall in love with him. She could not wait for Potiphar to come home, and when he did, she lied and said that Joseph had done some really terrible things to her. Well, of course, Potiphar was angry. He could not believe that Joseph would treat her so unkindly. To punish Joseph, Potiphar had him thrown into prison where the king's enemies were kept. So that really sunk for Joseph. You would think he would have tried to punch Potiphar's lights out, but instead, he chose to forgive the false accusation and make the most of his days in prison. I've got one more day of detention for something that I didn't even do. But instead of being angry and thinking about ways to pay back Billy, I'm going to make the most of my time and get to know the kids that are in there. It's really cool that even when other people aren't kind to us, God can help us be kind to them. When we follow God, we get to love being kind.
Oh, Pastor Michael, Joseph, he's been going through so much, but what I love is he keeps a good attitude. He always does what's right. No matter what, he does what's right.
No matter what. And that's what we've got to do, boys and girls. I mean, he told a story about he was in school and Billy threw the airplane and he's the one that got in trouble for it. Mm-hmm. The same thing with what happened in Potiphar's house, or Potiphar. The wife wanted to come on to Joseph, and Joseph knew that wasn't right. She wasn't doing right. So he did something very smart. He did the right thing and he ran away. Run away! Boys and girls, sometimes we need to do that. There could be a situation in school or with friends or in a neighborhood that somebody is saying, hey, let's go do this. Or hey, come with us, we're doing this.
And you know it's wrong.
And you know it's wrong. And sometimes it's best just to run away.
Out of Dodge. Whoa, you're so fast.
I'm fast.
You're like
I ran
Sonic
away.
the Hedgehog.
I'm out of here. I see you. I'm going to bolt. So boys and girls, we've got to learn to do that. And for that, Joseph got thrown into prison. Mm-hmm. But instead of being mad and wanting to punch their lights out, he chose to forgive. Again, he did the second right thing to do, Pastor Belinda.
Joseph loved being kind.
He did. And even when people were mean to him, people accused him, people did stuff to him, he chose to do what's right. You know, sometimes people may say bad things. Sometimes people may do bad things. Sometimes people may accuse you of certain things. And we've got to do what's right.
That's right, Pastor Michael. And
that's right.
You know, that's what our scripture says in Micah as well, the one that we've been working on.
That's right.
But Pastor Michael, talking about different scenarios. Different stories. Different things that could happen. We've got some more things that we can talk about.
Okay.
And ask some questions to the boys
you
and girls.
You want to ask some questions?
You want a scenario?
You want a scenario?
You want me to tell you about a scenario?
Are you going to do it with your Brooklyn accent?
Like to? No, I can't really do that. I get out of it too much. But I'm going to give you a scenario.
This is Pastor Belinda.
You can't even do it.
I can't even do it.
What kind of accent was that?
But when she puts her glasses on, if you remember from Suit Ups, they don't know who you are. That's your disguise.
That's right. Maybe they don't recognize me. Actually, I say my IQ goes up 10%.
I recognize you. Go ahead. You got a scenario.
Let me ask you this scenario, Pastor Michael, boys and girls. Raina is our little girl in this scenario. Raina's mom just started a new job. And Raina, she can tell that her mom feels stressed and overwhelmed. So she decides to love being kind to her mom by finding extra ways to serve her mom at home.
How sweet.
So, can you, boys and girls, Pastor Michael, can you think of some ways that you can serve your family at home?
Wow, that's a good one. Boys and girls, what can you do?
Let's hear some of yours.
Let me hear some. Yeah, I think I'm hearing some good ones.
Very good.
Very good ones?
I don't know about that one, but yeah, that was good.
That was a good one. So what do you got? Pastor?
You can help with chores.
Yep.
I'm just going to give you some. I'm sure you've said some of these. You can obey your parents without complaining.
Whoa.
It's one thing to obey with a grumpy huffiness, but it's another thing to obey like, okay, sure, I'll do that, and be happy and have a good attitude. You cannot fight with your siblings. If you have siblings, don't fight with them. That stresses mom and dad out. They don't need to be hearing that. So don't fight with your siblings. Do what's right.
Run away from a fight.
Look
at that. Do what's right. Run away from a fight.
We should write a song.
I should rap that.
So,
do what's right. Run away from a fight. Do what's right. Oh, go ahead.
I can't do the beatbox. Sorry. Just can't.
Okay.
So let me end with this. We can show kindness to our families by finding extra ways to serve them at home.
Ooh, here's a
got a
good one.
scenario,
I got a
Pastor
scenario,
Michael.
Pastor Belinda. It says, Peter's little brother broke his favorite video game. And Peter was really mad about it. The same night, his little brother asked him to help him with his math homework.
Wow.
Even
that's
though
a tough
Peter's
one.
brother had done something annoying, he chose to show kindness by forgiving him and helping him with his homework. That's really good. Has there ever been a time you showed kindness by forgiving someone? Huh? Maybe your brother or sister. Sometimes they can be annoying. They might break something. They might get into your room and mess it up. Maybe the older brother or sister. Gotta forgive them.
And you might not be able to forgive them instantly. You might need to walk away. Talk to God. Give a little talk to God and then come back and forgive them. You know, we're not expecting you to do it instantly.
So doing
Pastor
right
Michael.
is also loving being kind.
Exactly.
And you gotta love being kind.
Yes, I like that. Love.
Love being
Be
kind.
kind.
You gotta love being kind. And Joseph refused to do
Yes,
wrong.
that's
and
right.
he was kind no matter what in those scenarios and different things. So Pastor Belinda, why don't you go through real quick and begin to talk to them about the memory verse. I'm going to go bring the board in so you can continue with the boys and girls to see what they know.
I'm getting my pointer ready, boys and girls, and we're going to get the board back up. If you've been watching the last few weeks, you know that I've started erasing certain words, and they're still erased. They're still not there. So if you haven't been watching and this is your first week, you're going to be just a little behind, but I know that you can handle this. So Pastor Michael's going to bring that board in at any moment now, and we're going to work on that. So let's start going over our memory verse right now. All right, Pastor Michael. See, he's being kind. Pastor Michael, you love being kind, don't you?
I do, Pastor Belinda.
He did the right thing. He loves being kind. So let's work on our memory verse so we can do the right thing as well. So, follow the pointer. When the pointer hits the word, you say the word. Here we go. The Lord has told you what is good. He has told you what He wants from you. To do what is right to other people. Love being kind to others and live humbly obeying your God. Micah 6:8. Now, I'm just going to see how good your eyes are doing right now. I just want you to follow the pointer, and I'm going to randomly point at anything. I'm going to go slow, but then I'm going to get faster, so you got to be ready. Here we go. Did you get that? That was pretty fast. And I even pointed to the words that were missing. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes right now. I'm going to erase one more word. Close your eyes. No peeking, peeking, peeking. We're ready. Boys and girls, you can open your eyes. Follow the pointer. Here we go. The Lord has told you what is good. He has told you what He wants from you to do what is right to other people. Love being kind to others and live humbly. Oh, did you remember that? Obediently obeying your God. Micah 6:8. Micah 6:8. So, boys and girls, Pastor Michael's getting ready to come back in. He's getting ready to come and help me at the very end here. But what I want you to do is you keep working on that. You keep working on that. You can go back and watch the segment for what's your lunch, what's for lunch, and go over the memory verse there. Or you can rewind this and work on it here. any way you do it, get it into your mind, get it into your spirit, so you can act it out in your life. So Pastor Michael, I wanted you to come and say, because we're getting ready to say goodbye to the boys and girls for another week.
We'll see you next week, though. We'll come back.
It's going to be okay.
It's okay.
It's just a week.
We got to find out more. This is like one of those suspenseful cliffhangers. Tune in next week, boys and girls. What's going to happen to Joseph? Will he die in prison? Will he get out of prison? Will he be in trouble? What is going to happen to Joseph?
Will he continue to be kind?
Dun dun dun! Will he do the right thing? Oh no!
Tune in next week. We'll see you then. Have a blessed week.
Bye-bye.